of you is that this is the perfect book to be reading after that critical moment that you find out you're getting into college, because it's that moment where you think you've achieved everything and it actually is really just opening up a whole new set of possibilities and new situations to navigate. And it gives people, and particularly students who may not be know who to ask, maybe they can't ask their parents for whatever reason, it really gives them like that tool, that reference guide that you were talking about.
The first line of the book is really came from a student at the University of Iowa back when Christine worked at the University of Iowa, taught there many years ago. And it was one line from an upperclassman saying, there are options. That's literally the first line of the book, because really what the book tries to help you see is there are tons of options. And by the way, resources on campus there to help you in these struggles you have. And you're going to have struggles. There just are. Everybody is.
So that's what I love about the Freshman Survival Guide, because what you did years ago was open up a place for students to ask the questions, students to answer them from their own perspectives, but none of these is a sort of one-size-fits-all response. And this is really the difference between understanding your goal and understanding your sense of larger purpose, because the goal is to get into college. But your larger purpose, the meaning that you derive from the experience, well, that comes from the growth process, that comes from learning, that comes from asking the questions. And yet, when we're just so focused on the goal, then we need to actually help young adults in that transition. So I love the idea of, great, you're in. Here is the guide to help you bridge that next step.
And Christine, that kind of plays off of something that Christine has done with her happiness work. In our many conversations over the years, we've talked about it. You've been a great, as somebody who's on campus at Wisconsin, really plugging into what students are going through and seeing. And can you talk a little bit about that?
What students seem to do is exactly what we as a society ask them to do, which is to achieve, to focus on the boxes they need to check, the hurdles they need to leap. And then since we tend not to encourage them to ask why, often they don't ask why until it's too late. The challenge with not asking these larger questions of meaning and purpose is that you feel socially isolated. You feel alone. You feel potentially like you're just going through the motions and not living the life that you want to live. And when you are alone for the first time at university, when you are, on your own, that is one of those first moments where you have to really confront those big questions of, who am I? Who do I want to be? What do I believe? Not what my parents want me to believe, or not the rules that other people are putting on me. But, I can get away with a lot on a college campus. Who am I? What are my values? What are the strengths that I want to use? And how can I use all of these limited resources of time, of energy, of limited money, and of my emotional resources in a way that builds the life that I want to live? And when I teach this in my classes, I don't expect young people to have an answer, but asking the questions and making the space and the place to ask the questions is so important.